Welcome to this explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving into exactly what solid waste is and how our daily, seemingly tiny habits connect directly to these massive, global systems. It's a topic that touches every single one of us, every single day, yet so much of it happens completely out of sight.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering understanding solid waste, the art of segregation, decoding the color system, the waste management life cycle, and finally, health impacts and summary. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Understanding solid waste.
So what exactly are we throwing away? Solid waste isn't just the trash stuffed under your kitchen sink. By definition, it's any unwanted or discarded solid material. And this stuff comes from literally everywhere. Households, sure, but also hospitals, huge industrial plants, agriculture, commercial establishments, and institutions. It's basically the physical footprint of our daily lives.
All that discarded material originates from 6 primary sources: domestic, commercial, industrial, agricultural, biomedical, and construction. Now, figuring out exactly where waste comes from is absolutely crucial. Why? Because you can't manage it all the same way. The leftover stocks from a harvested field need a totally different game plan than chunks of concrete from a demo site, or, the takeout containers in your living room.
Right, so once we've pinned down the source, we organize the waste into 5 major categories: biodegradable, non-biodegradable, hazardous, biomedical, and electronic. This is where it gets real. You absolutely cannot treat highly toxic hazardous chemicals the same way you treat a busted motherboard or a rotten banana peel. The type of waste completely dictates its final destination.
And that brings us to the most critical distinction we deal with every single day, right in our own homes: biodegradable versus non-biodegradable. Biodegradable waste, like an apple core, is nature's problem. It breaks down naturally over time. But non-biodegradable waste, stuff like plastic water bottles, that is on a completely different biological clock. It will stubbornly stick around in our environment for generations. That is exactly why sorting is just so important.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, the art of segregation.
Waste segregation is officially defined as the separation of waste into different categories right at the source. And at the source is the magic phrase here. That means you, me, the line worker in a factory, the nurse in a clinic, we're all separating these materials before they ever leave our hands and enter the massive global disposal machine.
You might be wondering, does taking those 3 extra seconds to toss something in a different bin actually matter? Oh, absolutely. It does 4 massive things. First off, it dramatically reduces pollution. Second, it promotes recycling by keeping the reusable materials clean. Third, it lowers some pretty severe health risks by isolating the dangerous, hazardous stuff. And fourth, it boosts efficiency like crazy. Mixed trash is a literal nightmare to sort later on. Segregating it early, that streamlines the whole shebang.
Just think of segregation as a quick 5-step daily habit. Step 1, you identify what kind of waste you're actually holding. Step 2, separate it right then and there. Step 3, store it in the proper bin. Step 4, ensures it's safely collected. And Step 5, sends it off to its final disposal or recycling phase. It's a chain reaction, right? And it all kicks off with your choice in Step 1.
Section 3. Decoding the color system.
To make those 5 steps practically foolproof, the waste management world relies on a universal visual language. This color-coded system is basically your secret decoder ring. Green bins, those are for biodegradable organics. Blue is for clean recyclables. Red is a big warning sign. That's for hazardous stuff. Yellow handles biomedical waste, which is absolutely vital in healthcare settings. And black bins, those catch your general, non-recyclable waste. Knowing this color code is kind of what makes the entire global system tick.
Section 4. The waste management life cycle.
All right, so with our waste perfectly sorted by color, let's zoom way back out. Solid waste management is the overarching, systemic machine that takes over the second you tie up that trash bag. We are talking about the careful management of waste from the exact moment it's generated all the way to its final resting place. It is a wildly complex, highly coordinated logistical effort.
And this entire operation hinges on 3 simple, totally non-negotiable objectives: protect our health, reduce environmental pollution, and actively promote recycling. Every single garbage truck route, every massive sorting facility, every landfill, they are all specifically engineered to hit these 3 targets. If the system misses even one of them, it's failing us.
Let's look at how this breaks down functionally. The life cycle moves through 5 distinct phases. It always starts with generation. Then comes collection when those bins get emptied. Phase 3 is transportation, moving the waste safely across cities.
Phase 4 is processing. That's where waste gets sorted, treated, or compacted. And finally, disposal. Step 1 to Step 5, an unbroken, continuous chain.
Now, when we finally hit that fifth phase, disposal, we definitely aren't just chucking everything into a giant hole in the ground. We use a variety of specific methods depending entirely on the waste type we identified way back at the start. So, we're recycling materials to be used again, we're composting organic, biodegradable stuff, we might use incineration to safely burn waste down, sometimes we utilize traditional landfills, or we even have amazing tech to convert waste directly into energy. Applying the exact right method to the exact right waste, that is the hallmark of a system that actually works.
Which brings us to our final part today, Section 5, Health Impacts and Summary.
So what actually happens when this carefully designed system breaks down? Well, the hazards of failure are severe and they are immediate. Unmanaged waste turns into a massive breeding ground for infectious diseases. It triggers highly toxic air pollution if waste is just burned out in the open. And it causes devastating water contamination, as toxins literally leach into our local water supplies. The stakes here, honestly, couldn't be any higher.
But on the flip side, when we get this right, the benefits are just profound. A well-oiled waste management system rewards us with a clean, pristine environment. It drives measurably better public health outcomes by stamping out those disease vectors. And through recycling and composting, we lock in some incredible resource conservation. We stop endlessly depleting the earth for new raw materials.
Ultimately, it all boils down to one undeniable truth. Proper waste management guarantees our environmental safety and our public health. Handling our discarded materials with care isn't just some boring daily chore. It's quite literally the fundamental shield protecting the world we live in and the bodies we inhabit.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a quick thought. The very next time you're holding a piece of trash, just take a second before you drop it in a bin. Ask yourself, what role are you going to play in its life cycle today? Are you going to be the weak link, or are you the crucial first step in a system that protects every single one of us?